Ladies and gentlemen, week 7 is in the books. Week 8 now. It's a funny old week. There's not much going on to start the week, but Braino and I are going to get into it and how to beat your mates right after this. Hello and welcome back to Ball Logic. I'm your host this evening, The Horse, and joining me is my little less stuttery friend. It's Braino. How you doing, mate?
I'm well. I hope people get to see the intro to that show, but I'm sure they won't because it'll be edited out. And they call it third time lucky, but I don't even know if you got it done in three efforts. That was fun.
Yeah. It was a bit of Adam Sandler there, wasn't there, with today, Junior. But anyway, we're here. Week 7 is in the books, which means NBA Cup Finals week is here. We've got some semi-finals, quarterfinals. It's a funny old week fixturing wise, isn't it, Braino?
Weird week, yes. I guess for a lot of people, they're probably maybe tuning in to say, "Hey, what the fuck's going on this week?" Like, for the most part, you're going to open things up and you're going to go, "Hang on a sec, I've got 15 players across the whole week available." So I guess, for everybody that's a little bit confused, it just depends on your league settings, but it also depends on where you play because default settings across different fantasy platforms are going to be different. So for anybody playing on Yahoo or ESPN this week, you will be playing a normal Monday to Sunday week for the most part if it is a default league. Now, you can't even change it in Yahoo as far as I'm aware, so you're going to be playing Monday to Sunday, which means that due to the NBA Cup games, you're going to see a lot less games throughout this week, which means a lot less, opportunity, I guess, for waiver wire ads, a lot less opportunity for games played from your regulars in your squad, which is going to mean a few things, I'm sure we'll talk about very soon in this show. But anybody on Fantrax, you're going to have a 2-week matchup, basically. You're going to have the Monday through to the Sunday for next week. So it's kind of like week 8, week 9 combined. For Fantrax and for ESPN and Yahoo, you're going to be playing just week 8 solo, which is probably not my preference, Horse. I would much rather it be a 2-week matchup just because we know that there's so much up in the air at the moment with what's going on with these teams and who gets through to the semis. And I mean, at the moment, we don't even have Saturday's fixtures locked in because we're waiting on what happens on Tuesday, right. Wednesday. So yeah, there's just a lot up in the air at the moment. And I think it just probably puts teams at a disadvantage because there's a lot of teams on a 1-game week this week.
There is. So we can talk about the NBA Cup while you're touching on it, mate. And whoever wins on Tuesday, Wednesday this week, play Saturday. The losers then play on Sunday, Monday. But you've got the potential of the likes of Phoenix and San Antonio that could have 3 games this week. So that could really get you a leg up on your mates, especially if you're attacking the waiver wire earlier in the week. We'll get to that a bit later. But the likes of the Lakers, Miami, New York, OKC, Orlando, and Toronto, potentially this week, they might only have 1 game for the whole 7 days.
Yeah, so, and again, that just creates so much more uncertainty around waiver wire ads. It creates uncertainty about how many kind of games you're going to get out of the players that you've got. Like, Wemby's due back this week, but he might only play 1. So it's, I guess maybe the overarching theme and the message I want to get across in this show, whilst it's probably will be a short episode, is that you do not want to blow your squad up, blow your team up, or chase stupid waiver wire ads, drop players potentially you wouldn't be dropping in other weeks just to get a W this week. For me, 100%. I think obviously it's dependent on where you are on the ladder, but for the most part, even if you're down the bottom, I don't think it's worth blowing up your squad and changing things just to target a couple of extra games throughout the week. For me, I'll be pretty much approaching this week as a I don't care week. And I'll be moving on to week 9 where it will matter a lot more. And I won't be making rash decisions based on 1-game weeks. That's probably my best advice this week.
It's funny, isn't it? Because we talk about wanting to beat our mates all the time and trying to get a leg up and, have as many plays as we can play throughout the week. But I think you hit the nail on the head, Braino, in that if you've got multiple players that are only on that 1-game week, but you're looking to attack the waiver wire, don't go dropping plays that are inside, your top 100 if you're in 12-team leagues or what have you, just to try and maybe win. And then you lose a quality player to your opposition for the rest of the year. It's just not worth it. So if it's all too far gone, I guess, from the start of the week, and you can see that you've got quite a few of those teams that are on those 1-game weeks, maybe just put the queue in the rack early and go, you know what? Shit happens, but I'm going to keep a good quality side together. You've obviously put that squad together for a reason, and whatever record that it is that you may be, if you're 5-1, 6-1, 7-1, whatever it is, you're obviously doing the right things. So don't just blow it up for this week.
Nah, spot on. Of course, though, that you can be tactical around your pickups. We'll talk to you about the days that you should be targeting soon, as well as some injuries to keep an eye on throughout this week. So we will still be bringing you some relevant content tonight for the next 10 minutes or so. But
sure.
I definitely don't go blowing it up if you don't need to.
Did you say injuries? Let's talk about some injuries here, and topping the list is Aaron Gordon. He's still 2 to 4 weeks away with that grade 2 pig string. Denver still going okay though without Christian Braun and Aaron Gordon there. Peyton Watson rather, and is it Spencer Jones that's filling the void at the moment? And they've just got role players that are doing not too bad to keep this winning streak alive that Denver have. Is it 10 in a row away from home now?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, look,
Yeah.
Denver are a quality team. They've got a fair bit of depth as well. Bruce Brown coming back this year, even though he did his best Tony Snell impression today.
He did fuck all. Yeah.
For the most part, I think they've been fantastic in the depth that he brings this squad. They've obviously found some great talent this year as well to fill in gaps. Peyton Watson's been outstanding, as you mentioned. There's a lot to like. And of course, when you've got the number one player in the NBA in Nikola Jokic doing what he's doing, and then Jamal Murray just chipping in here and there for a little 50 bomb. I think he put up 23 points in the first quarter today as well. So that was his first ever, his career high first quarter. In points. So, look, when you've got different guys, and Aaron Gordon put up a 50 ball as well this year, I think they're the first team in a long time that have had 3 separate players put up 50 points, 50-point games in the first 23 games of the season. So,
yeah, right.
There's a lot to like.
Heaps to like. Moving on, Sabonis, probably still a week away. If you're looking at anyone to add there, I really like Braino, the young rookie center for the Sacramento Kings. Trae Young still 1 to 2 away, but that's from being reevaluated. Braino, has anything changed your stance with the Atlanta Hawks and how they're tracking?
No. Jalen Johnson is him.
Isn't
that's pretty much all you need to know. Dyson Daniels has done his job defensively. Nickeil Alexander-Walker's been outstanding, and honestly, I can't critique what they've been able to do, the Hawks. They've been great, and for the most part, I think they're going to continue to be pretty solid. It looks like they're starting to get it together now. Kristaps Porzingis is now back in the lineup. Well, he came off the bench and scored 20 points in his last outing with a couple of blocks. So maybe there's the trust there in Onyeka Okongwu as well, because he's been great this year. He's spread really the floor with a nice 3-ball this year as well. So yeah, they're starting to find maybe the right kind of the right kind of lineup and the right rotation to find themselves some wins, and that's without their best player. And let's not pretend that Trae Young isn't a quality player. They're just going to go from strength to strength when he's back.
But even when Tingus Pingus came back last week, he came off the bench and they stuck with Onyeka Okongwu in the starting lineup and seemed to work not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be very surprised if they don't continue to go that way, to be completely honest.
Ja Morant, he is listed as doubtful now, so he's return from a calf injury will probably happen at some stage this week. Vince Williams, he's burned. For me anyway, I believe it's over. He's been really quiet the last 2 games, and the emergence of Spencer and Jalen Wells is playing better now, and yeah, I think his role in the rotation's near on up. Wembanyama, he participated fully in practice today along with Stephon Castle, Braino, and both look likely to return in the coming days.
Yeah, they've got and they're an interesting team that I'm sure we'll talk about because they're pretty nice start to the week potentially that Monday, Wednesday. So yeah, keeping a close eye on them. They're probably the team that I'll be looking to stream early in the week, Monday, Wednesday, along with the Phoenix Suns. So we'll give you some options there. But yeah, with Wemby back in the team, Stephon Castle back in the team, it's Julian Champagne that probably is the man that suffers there. He's been pretty decent in spot starts, but now again, a bit like Vince Williams Jr., he's the guy that probably falls off a little bit there due to that. So again, the Spurs are going to be bloody dangerous when they get Wemby, Castle. Then they'll have Fox fit. So I don't think all 3 of them have played together yet. So that's going to be an interesting watch when they are all ready to go.
Franz Wagner, that horrific fall that he took today. There's no updates yet on that lower leg knee injury that he sustained. Fingers crossed, Braino, that it's not too bad. But on the same day last year, he suffered a torn oblique and was out for 2 months. Would you believe it?
No, I mean, I would believe it. Yeah, look, that they're going to hurt losing him.
Mhm.
I think he's been pretty big this year. I just think that maybe they're lucky that they've got Paolo Banchero back for the most part. Tristan Da Silva's been decent when they've leaned on him, except he went pretty cold over the last probably couple of weeks before Paolo Banchero was back. So yeah, Franz Wagner definitely is a really big piece here. But Jalen Suggs has also started to step up over the last month or so. I've been pretty impressed with what he's been able to do as well, just in a very usage dominant team like the Orlando Magic. He's still finding his own over the last month. So yeah, don't write him off, but big loss for him.
Definitely. And Alex Sarr, interesting because he was only questionable last week, but didn't play at all this week with that oblique injury.
Yeah, obviously they're trying to play the long game there, and when you've got a 7-foot centre with lower limb issues, you've got to tread carefully. And also Marvin Bagley was okay, so I guess he's just the guy that you stream in. For the most part, he's the guy until Sarr's back, and I think Sarr will be back pretty soon. And I don't like talking about Marvin Bagley being okay.
No. I was going to say,
strange.
Are you sure you meant that?
I did. I streamed him at the start of the week. I thought I was only going to get the back-to-back out of him, and I ended up getting the full week. So,
beautiful.
Yeah, his numbers were great. I think in the second game on that back-to-back, he put up 5 blocks. So, there's a lot to like out of
his
him.
Life. Yeah.
I know. Take him back to the Sacktown days when he was actually relevant. But yeah, he's been bouncing around a little bit.
This is the guy that got picked before Luka, isn't it?
That guy, yeah.
Yeah, that
Shout
guy.
out to Vladivac, who said he was going to be a better talent. He's more consistent and better player. So, yeah, wish he could have that one back.
Yeah. Well, he is consistently shit. But anyway, we move on. Here is the weekly planner for you. As we see here, there's plenty of green. 3, 2, 2, 4. Then a 7-game day on Friday. The Saturday's a 2-game day. Sunday's 8, but that's Saturday 2-game day, Braino, and Wednesday, they're cup days, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. So again, that Saturday has not even been confirmed yet. So when you go on to the schedule, obviously no games will be there. So we just need to see what the result is of that the first 2 quarterfinals. And like we said, the winners will play on the Saturday. The losers will play on the Sunday, Monday. So again, we're still a bit unsure of what that all looks like at the back end of this week too, so it's a bit awkward. But in saying that, you can just sit back and watch and wait and see what they give us on the Saturday, because you're going to get a couple of games out of it and hopefully a couple of little waiver wire ads, as these games will count. So for anybody confused around whether cup days count or not, they do, except the final next Tuesday. That is the only game that will not count towards fantasy. So the quarterfinals and the semi-final matchups will, and then next Tuesday is the championship game. That'll be a donut day for us, a day off from fantasy. So, worth noting.
For sure. And to no one's surprise, there are 0 back-to-backs for anyone this week. So no one worth streaming for the double, dip, I guess, when you're attacking the waiver wire. Braino, we're going to have a look at some players on the waiver wire that the people at home could potentially attack early in the week.
Target acquired.
And mate, you touched on it early in the week. There's not many games going on, but San Antonio and Phoenix appear to have the best scheduling to start the week anyway. From those two teams, who are you attacking?
From the Spurs, mate, obviously, if someone was silly enough to drop Stephon Castle because they were frustrated with the injury and they don't have an IR, grab him quick. You can drop Julian Champagne. I think that there is every chance his time in the sun is over. But Harrison Barnes, if he's on your waiver wire, I'd pick him up. He's not a bad shout. The Monday, Wednesday seem to be the best spot for Phoenix and Spurs. And Luke Cornett, I'd probably hold Luke Cornett, even if Wemby is back. I think Cornett was putting up some pretty decent numbers, some top 120 numbers with Wemby in the team when they were sliding Wemby to the 4 when Harrison Barnes moved to the 3. So, if anything, I would say Luke Cornett. Jeremy Sohan is probably also pretty relevant. Keldon Johnson's been getting some boards without Wemby, so just worth keeping an eye out there, but they're the ones I'd target. How about Phoenix, mate? Anybody that you're looking at there?
Jordan Goodwin, I think, is the pick for me. Scores the ball pretty well, plays some defense, and by that I mean he can get some steals. Ryan Dunn, he's pretty defensive heavy as well. Not much of a scorer, but can get you some boards, get you some blocks, get you some steals. Colin Gillespie, if he is somehow still floating around on waivers as well. Devin Booker is out to start the week and probably won't be back before the weekend. So out of the three, it'd be Colin Gillespie would be the pick for me. Goodwin, and then done.
They're just keeping an eye out on here for Devin Booker. Jordan Ott has come out and said that Booker could return on Wednesday for Wednesday's game. So you've got a definite stream there, pretty open for Jordan Goodwin or Colin Gillespie or whoever it ends up being. But yeah, just be wary that you might need to be dropping one of these guys. Not Gillespie. You'd probably hold him because he still has value and Booker's there. But yeah, you're probably dropping a Jordan Goodwin or someone like that if Booker is back on Wednesday.
For sure. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been short and sharp, but we've gotten straight to it tonight for you. If you haven't yet, like, subscribe, bell, thumbs up, hype, do all that good stuff for us here at Ball Logic. If you're listening to us on audio, the 5-star review helps keep the lights on and gets us out into more people's ears that love a bit of banter along with their fantasy knowledge. But for tonight, Braino, it's been a pleasure. We'll catch all these lovely people again tomorrow. Peace.